today was suggested by the organization called Exodus. Can someone go from being gay to straight? Now, this is David and his wife Diane, and they've been married for 30 years. And David says for 27 of those years, he led a secret life. It was a secret gay life, and he had anonymous sex with men. David, when you married your wife, you told her you were gay?
That is correct.
Or you told her you had feelings about being attracted to other men?
Well, I had feelings. A month before we were to be married, I developed a sexually transmitted disease that I picked up from another man. And I thought that maybe that was a sign from,
God, that you should be straight?
I should be gay. And so I had to tell my future wife that maybe we couldn't do anything on our honeymoon. So I told her, and to my surprise, she still wanted to get married. And I think...
Did you ever cheat on your wife in the 27 years with another man?
Quite frequently, yes.
Quite frequently?
Well,
Diane, tell us about finding out that your husband had a secret life. What is that like?
I knew before we got married, I had some suspicions for about a year that he was gay. There were different places that he would frequent and things like that, so it wasn't quite a shock when he told me that he was. But I think at that point we both figured that marriage was going to change him, and I was naive enough to think that that could be a possibility.
Now, that was 30 years ago, and I think...
there was nothing where we could go to talk to anybody.
There was no one you
show.
could talk. We have to always put this in time context.
It took 20 years for me to finally go to somebody, and it was 4 years ago.
And to ask for help?
Ask for help, and to talk about it.
Maybe it's easier now because you are older and the hormones are not as raging as they might be. Let me introduce Rabbi Sharon Kleinbaum, who is standing here, sitting here, who is a leader of Congregation Beth Simchat Torah. The rabbi is moving around as if she wished to say something. You've heard David's stories. Can someone go from gay to straight?
I have to answer that with another question, of course, being a rabbi, and that is, can somebody go from being straight to gay? I think that people have an essence, and I think the question is whether our society supports people to honestly be who they are. I don't think somebody who is genuinely straight in their orientation can become a homosexual, can become gay. And I don't think that somebody who is genuinely gay in their core can just become straight. I do think there's a continuum. I believe there are some people who are genuinely bisexual and for whom sexual attraction is not limited to one or to the other. And my concern is not with somebody's individual story, and I feel a great deal of pain for what this couple has gone through. And it saddens me deeply that they didn't get the kind of support individually or as a couple early on to help them navigate these very complicated waters. I have married many couples, some of whom are here in your studio audience today, who live deeply committed, profoundly religious lives as gay or lesbian couples, who live a life full of meaning. To say that heterosexuality is the only way that one can live a religious life is something that I reject as a rabbi.
Allow me then, you are a representative of Jonah. May I ask you to answer her?
Yeah, hi. Jonah, Jews Offering New Alternatives to Homosexuality, just started about 1.5 years ago. We believe if someone is happy being gay, their family is happy, they feel good in their heart and soul, gay gesint, go in good health. But for the many, many people who are not happy with these feelings, who don't feel it's okay with their psyche, their religion, their world, their God, we are now offering help and hope, and we want to offer ourselves to those people.
Do you believe that they can be changed? That's the question.
It's like any other. We believe it's really an addiction, not an essence.
Excuse me, can I ask,
Hold it.
Excuse me.
Hold it. There's a lot of material that says the same thing if you read the material.
Excuse me, ma'am. May I ask you a question? I assume you're straight since you're representing Joan. Is that correct?
Well, we're a whole mixed board.
Okay, but you yourself, I assume you're identifying as heterosexual.
Yes.
Would you be able to change from being straight to gay?
I've seen married women who happily married and then be in a second, not happily married, be abused, and then turn to women.
I'm asking you about your, because I'm asking you
Wait.
Excuse me,
No,
the personal
I have
question I'm
seen
asking.
people go from straight to gay.
Someone can go from a heterosexual relationship to a homosexual relationship, but what I'm talking about is the essence inside of our souls.
Allow me then to introduce to you Richard Cohen. Richard has, I'm going to assume, is Jewish, is that correct?
This is my background, bar mitzvah and confirmed.
Okay. Would you stand, please?
Sure.
Richard, ask him the questions because he believes he has gone from gay to straight. In a Jewish...
I know it.
You know it, I'm sorry.
And so does my wife, too.
Okay.
That's great. That's your personal experience, and I respect you for your personal experience. I believe there's a continuum of human sexuality, and I support you in finding out who you are. Our synagogue community has people who are gay, who are straight, who are bisexual. But the point is, are we willing to say it is possible to be deeply religious and openly gay at the same time? Yes. And I am saying yes.
Is it possible?
Sally, I'm a professional psychotherapist, and for
Right.
the last 12 years, I've helped hundreds and hundreds of men and women change from a homosexual to a heterosexual orientation. So everyone's framing this as a religious paradigm. I see it as a psychological condition. What I know from scientific literature is that no one is born this way.
No one is born.
There is no genetic or biologic basis for same-sex attractions. None of the research is borne out. And what I know is that people don't choose to have same-sex attractions. It's always the result of family, environment, and social conditioning. And the good news is that anybody can choose to change from a homosexual to a heterosexual orientation because they're not born this way.
I'm always surprised at how controversial it is. There's an issue of whether being gay is a choice, and I think that's what it comes down to. I said I would start with you, sir. Yes.
Hi. My name is Dr. Daniel Caraher, and I've done a lot of work with the gay and lesbian community. What you were saying before, I apologize, I don't remember your name. You were saying that there are a lot of gay people out there who struggle with it. And it is harder in life to be a gay or lesbian person, just like it's harder in this life to be a black person or to be a woman or to be someone from a religious minority. However, I think I would so much more appreciate, and I think the world would be such a better place if people took their energy instead of focusing on, well, how can people who are different be more mainstream, and be, well, how can we change what's wrong with society that makes it wrong for these people to exist just for being who they are.
All right, allow me to introduce Nathan and his mom, Roxanne. Nathan says he went through a program to, quote, become straight, and now runs a program to help other people like himself. Roxanne, the mother, says she's happy her son went through the program. She is happy he is, quote, no longer gay. Nathan, why did you enroll in this program to begin with?
Well, Sally, I had been struggling with who I was for a very long time. Growing up...
How old are you now?
I'm 23.
Okay.
Growing up in small town America, we didn't talk about being gay or anything like that. I knew I was having thoughts and tendencies towards being homosexual, but it was never something that I had desired or wanted to be. I'd always had the dream of being married and having a family, and it didn't fit with my religious beliefs either. I knew that it wasn't
Are you
God,
religious? Do
yeah,
you consider yourself?
Yeah, I'm a Christian, and it wasn't what I felt God wanted me to be either.
Did you ever tell your mother you felt an attraction to the same sex?
Not until I'd been in the program for about a year.
Ah.
So I didn't tell anybody. I didn't know that there were options for me. I didn't really know anything. I was very naive. But when I moved to Minneapolis to go to college, I found that there were options, and I chose not to pursue homosexuality.
Okay. What about you as a mother? When anywhere in his growing up, did you notice anything about him that might make you think he might be attracted to men?
No,
Nothing.
nothing like that.
Okay.
No.
When he talked to you about this, what did you think?
I was glad that he was